What if the real curse was not the monster's claws or fangs, but the loneliness that bound him and the terrible choices that chained her? Welcome to Beauty and the Beast, a story haunted by corridors of cold stone, fleeting glimpses of humanity, and a bond forged from duty rather than dream. High in the echoing halls of a crumbling castle, a young woman named Beauty paces through deserted chambers. Within, she endures strange dinners and stifled conversations with a towering, fur-covered beast, her captor, yet somehow her companion. Each night he offers marriage, and each night she refuses, too disturbed by the eyes that lurk behind the monstrous visage. What follows is no simple fairy tale. Instead, it's a labyrinth of shifting emotions: fear, pity, guilt, and perhaps a flicker of something more complex. Here, the line between captor and captive, curse and cure, is as fragile as a rose petal.
The candlelight cast grotesque shadows across the castle walls as Beauty traced her fingers along the cold stone.
These walls swallowed screams. Can they stomach forgiveness?
17 days had passed since she'd taken her father's place, though time seemed to flow differently within these cursed walls. Each night brought the same ritual: dinner with a monster who wore fine silk that did nothing to hide the horror of his form. She had thought herself brave when she'd first arrived, head held high as she promised to take her father's punishment. Now, alone in the vast corridors where portraits seemed to follow her every move, with hollow eyes, she understood true courage and true fear. The beast had given her everything she could desire. Her chambers were filled with luxuries that felt more like mockery than comfort. Books lined the shelves, but their pages spoke of happiness she could no longer reach. Each evening, he asked the same question: "Will you marry me, Beauty?" Each evening she refused, though she saw the rage that flickered behind his eyes, a reminder of the savage nature that lay beneath his attempted gentility. His claws would dig into the table, leaving deep gouges in the ancient wood, but he never raised a hand against her. Sometimes she wondered if that made it worse. This pretense of civility, this gilded cage. The hardest moments came when she caught glimpses of humanity in him. The way his shoulders would slump when she turned away. The gentle way he tended the roses in his garden. Massive paws somehow handling the delicate blooms without breaking them. It was during these moments that the true horror of the curse revealed itself. When she received word of her father's illness, the beast's permission to visit came with a price, a promise to return within 7 days, or he would die of grief. She thought it melodrama until she saw the genuine anguish in his eyes.
If I stay, it will be choice, not chain. Can you bear the door staying open?
It was then she realized the true nature of their bargain. Her presence had become his lifeline, and her absence would be his execution. She returned on the 7th day, not out of love, but out of a complex web of guilt, duty. She found him dying among his beloved roses, their petals falling like drops of blood around his massive form.
Pain is lighter when carried by 2 hands.
When her tears fell upon his fur, when the curse broke and revealed the prince beneath, Beauty felt no joy. Instead, she mourned for the beast who had been more honest in his monstrousness than any man in his beauty. For the complicated truth their tale would become simplified into. And for herself, knowing that while the curse was broken, its shadows would forever haunt them both. The prince took her hand, and she accepted it, understanding finally that some prisons are of our own making. As they walked toward their supposed happy ending, Beauty kept her eyes on the roses, remembering the beast who had tended them with such care.
2 shadows cannot merge. Without lightlet sunrise, witness our choice.
And wondered which form had truly been the curse. In the years that followed, Servants would whisper about the queen, who sometimes walked the gardens at night, counting her steps and trailing her fingers along the cold stone walls as if searching for something lost.
Once I gifted roses expecting ransom, now I gift one hoping for nothing returned.
And on certain nights, when the moon was full and the roses were in bloom, those who listened closely might hear her whisper, "Will you marry me, beast?" But only silence would answer, for some transformations, once made, can never be undone.
History, origins, and broader context. The original Beauty and the Beast tale has roots in 18th century French literature, most famously written by Jeanne-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. Often interpreted as a parable for arranged marriage or a test of true love that looks beyond appearances, the story has undergone countless variations, each with its own spin on the curse, the beast's nature, and Beauty's motivations. Disney's 1991 animated film catapulted Beauty and the Beast into popular culture worldwide. Directed by Gary Trousdale and Kirk Wise, with music by Alan Menken and lyrics by Howard Ashman, the movie quickly became an icon of the Disney Renaissance. It was the first animated film ever nominated for the Academy Award for Best Picture, a testament to its groundbreaking artistry and emotional depth. Disney's Belle was praised as a bookish, independent heroine, an evolution from more passive princess archetypes. She rejects the boorish Gaston and seeks adventure in the great wide somewhere, a stance many viewed as a refreshing portrayal of female agency in family films. Featuring beloved songs like Be Our Guest and the titular Beauty and the Beast, the film's lavish animation and Broadway-style numbers left a lasting cultural imprint. Some critics have raised concerns about the so-called Stockholm Syndrome aspect. Belle falls for the beast while being held captive. Others argue that Belle remains with him by choice, and that the film emphasizes empathy and understanding rather than coercion. Nevertheless, it's a conversation that regularly resurfaces in modern discussions of the film. The 2017 live-action adaptation Disney revisited the tale in 2017 with a live-action remake starring Emma Watson, Belle, and Dan Stevens, the Beast. While commercially successful, it too sparked debate and interest. The film faced minor uproar in some regions over a brief scene hinting at a gay subtext for Le Fou, Gaston's sidekick, leading to censorship debates. Critics and fans also discussed whether the movie's expanded backstory and CGI transformations added new depth or dulled the original's charm. Despite ongoing debates, Beauty and the Beast remains one of Disney's most beloved properties. Its dual nature, an enchanting love story shadowed by darker undertones, continues to fascinate. Many find resonance in Belle's quest for understanding and the Beast's struggle with self-loathing. Children delight in the enchanted household objects, while adults may reflect on the tale's themes of compassion, transformation, and the complexities of real love. In this darker retelling, Beauty's tears break the curse, but they also mark the loss of something she had come to understand. The Beast was more honest in his monstrous body than many men are in their human guise. Their future, though outwardly happy, is tainted by memories of captivity, isolation, and the knowledge that transformations sometimes demand a piece of one's soul. They exit the castle together, Beauty and the prince, yet the specter of the Beast still follows in spirit. The castle's dim corridors, the silent dinners, the hush in the rose garden at midnight, all remain as echoes in her mind. And while Disney's animated classic might end on a triumphant note of ballroom dances and swirling gowns, this more somber vision of Beauty and the Beast stands as a haunting reminder that some curses lie deeper than the skin, and that the line between beast and man is as perilously thin as a single fallen rose petal.